If your health goes downhill, it's going to be a very stressful occasion for your whole family. It's stressful because of the fear of losing you, the fear of not being able to take care of you, but it's also stressful because they start to see how expensive long-term care can be. If they have the good sense to come to an elder law attorney, your family will want to have their ducks in a row so that it can be clear how to preserve assets from the cost of long-term care and to get you the care that you need. I'm Patrick Cawley with Keystone Elder Law in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and I've helped a number of families go through this stressful period, and we can do it successfully and efficiently, but it really helps if, again, you've organized things and you've avoided certain pitfalls along the way to make it go more smoothly. So here are 5 tips to make that process go more smoothly, and you can start on them today, just planning ahead and using the best practices to be ready for when that happens. The first is simply to make a list of everything you own. So all of your bank accounts, all of your insurance policies, whether they're life insurance policies or property insurance, keep a list of your investment accounts, whether they're 401ks or IRAs that are tax-advantaged accounts, or other types of brokerage accounts where you are saving for your later years and growing your wealth. So be very careful to note who is the owner of those policies. Is it you alone? Is it you with your spouse? Is there a cash value on the life insurance policy? All of this becomes very, very important information, and don't assume that anyone in your family other than you knows that information. So start making that list. That'll make everything go much more smoothly. There will be no surprises when suddenly we find out you had something else that the kids didn't know about. Just make the list now. It will really help down the road. Number 2 is don't throw away old bank statements. Normally, when we apply for Medicaid benefits to pay for long-term care for a client, we have to include the previous 5 years of bank statements. And now you can go online and get bank statements, but you might not be able to get more than about 2 years. So if you always keep at least the previous 5 years of bank statements, then your children will not have to run around to every bank where you have money and pay the fees to get statements that we can submit to the government to show how much money you have. So those statements are very important. Number 3 is minimize the cash withdrawals. So people like to use the ATM to get cash out, or they write checks to cash. Try not to do that so much, especially if you already have a diagnosis that could lead to long-term care. The people who at the government agency administering Medicaid will assume when they see that cash withdrawal that you just gave away your money. And if that's the conclusion, there's a penalty for gifting, and it's expensive. It's a period of time when you have to privately pay for your care, and Medicaid won't pay. So you want to avoid any conclusion that you gave your money away by, one, just not doing cash withdrawals at all if you can help it. But if you must, or if you're writing big checks, $600-700 or more, then you want to keep careful receipts. You want to note exactly what it was for. Because if you were buying something, or if you were paying for a service, that's not a gift. That does not turn into a penalty, but we have to be able to show that to the agency so that it doesn't look like you were just taking money out and giving cash away. Number 4, is related to the previous one, and that is if you have people coming to your home to help you with the activities of daily living, whether it's getting dressed, getting bathed, meal preparation, or even just somebody who's shoveling snow or cutting the grass, don't pay those people in cash. I know that's the easiest thing, and that's probably how most people do it. But again, if you're taking out lots of cash, that's going to add up, and that's going to turn into a penalty period where we can't preserve your assets. You're going to be privately paying for your care, and Medicaid won't pay. So the best thing to do is to have a personal services agreement. And I prepare these for clients all the time. So it lays out exactly what work will be done, what the rate of compensation will be, and then there's a log that is kept when the actual work is done so that we can show chapter and verse what money was paid for, and it was not a gift. Even if it's your family members, you're still giving them money, and that's great, but you've recorded that you got something in return for it, and so it's not treated as a gift by the Medicaid agency. Finally, if you are moving in with your adult children, one way to make things go smoothly is if you're going to, say, add on to the home or improve the home in some way for you to stay there, you don't want to add to the property value of your child without documenting the situation appropriately, because then again it's a gift. So there's a couple different ways to structure that deal. You can allow the child to pay for it and then have a deal where your monthly rent goes towards the cost of the construction or the improvement, or maybe you lend the money to the child with an agreement that says my monthly rent will be recouped basically from that loan that I just gave you to improve the value of the house. So these are all just some tips to make things go smoothly, to get eligible for long-term care benefits, and not to have any sort of penalty where you have to privately pay and your money goes to the cost of care, never to be seen again. If you have any questions about any of this, it can get kind of technical. I'm Patrick Cawley at Keystone Elder Law. You can send us an email, info@keystoneelderlaw.com.